So I was listening to Price Pritchard the other day, who's an author and change management expert out of Dallas, Texas. And he posed a question: which is more impactful, positive thinking or less negative thinking? So now this isn't a trick question, but it's a very provocative question. Which is more important? Where do you get the most traction? More positive thinking or less negative thinking? Well, the studies are unequivocal. They're unequivocal. It's less negative thinking. Now, the thing that kind of gets us caught in a net or confused sometimes is that, and I guess most of us, if not all of us, think that this is a linear scale. At the high end, the good end is optimism, and at the low end is pessimism or negative thinking. Well, the studies show that they're actually two separate scales. Now, think about that for a moment. Now we should all think positive. There's tremendous power in that. Being positive, keeping that energy high is what it's all about. But if you want to take the biggest bite of the apple, simply cut down on the negative thinking. You got to chip away at it, chip away at it, chip away at it. Why? Because that's the villain voice in our heads. That's the critic, the demotivator, the one that constantly raises doubt. You can shut it up. You really can. It's not going to be easy. It takes practice. It takes discipline. There are people that will say, I think I'm aware of my negative thinking, but they're not. About 70% of our negative thinking goes unperceived by us. It's just embedded in our day-to-day behavior. We're simply not aware of it. About 70% is simply ingrained in the way we go about our lives. This is how it shows up. The 5 C's. It's literally a covert operation of the 5 C's. So if you think about the first one is complaining, griping, belly aching, finding something, anything to complain about. The lines are too long at the airport during holidays, although they fly once or twice a year. They're too long, but that's not going to change. You complaining about it is not going to help it and not going to make a change. So we have complaining. The next one is criticizing. My company pulled back on my marketing budget and travel expenses. The city does a terrible job timing the road construction and so on. So we have complaining, we have criticizing. The next one is concern. Not concern in the realm of empathy for other people. No, concern as in worrying. I'm concerned about interest rates. I'm concerned about gas prices. I'm concerned about inflation. I'm concerned about the news. I'm concerned about, and so on. So the next one is commiserating. This one is super draining. Super draining. Someone comes in, sits next to you, and they start with their C's. And you say, I get it, man. Yeah, I understand. Listen, this right here, commiserating isn't good for anyone. There is no good that can come from this. In fact, I would suggest that it's destructive for both people. So the next one, the last one, is catastrophizing, which is simply blowing things way out of proportion, making a mountain out of a molehill. Those things sneak into everyday life. If you start watching people, watching ourselves, how much we do this, and of course, we're surrounded by so much negativity. You listen to the news, you get on some of these social media sites, and so on. So I submit to you, and Price Pritchard submits to you, that if we start reducing and paying attention to those negative things in our life, it will make us much better people moving forward. Take care.